Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Political Living Room. I am Karen. This is my living room. Thank you so much for stopping by for a little political discussion this evening. I have my beverage. I hope you have yours. I've got some San Pellegrino sparkling water here with fresh lime and fresh orange juice in a crystal water glass because I am fancy. Mm. And it's okay to be fancy. Go ahead. Fancy it up, for God's sake. What are we looking at here? We are looking at Bill Maher and John Mellencamp, a rock star of sorts from the early and mid 80s. So you've got two rich white dudes sitting here talking about the terrible lives that Black people lead in the United States. Maher disagrees with Mellencamp. Mellencamp is going to make a very peculiar statement that a lot of liberals believe and that a few Black people pay lip service to. So without further ado, let's listen to this conversation. Here we go.
Yeah, it's okay to disagree.
You say it in one of your songs.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Right.
I wrote a song that I never recorded because I felt it was wrong, but it was called From the Fucking Cotton Fields to the Plague Fields.
Yeah.
So my point is that, yeah, so what?
I would say that
us white people love to have Black people entertain us.
I would say that the playing fields are a lot better than the cotton fields. That's what I would say about that. Maybe I'm crazy, John, but it seems like making no money as a slave picking cotton was not as good as playing left field for the Yankees. I mean, I'm sure there were reasons why.
Listen,
Dave Winfield has some beefs against Steinbrenner. I'm sure.
No doubt, there is 1 or 2% of Black people in America who have a better life.
Oh, stop. That's what you think? 1 or 2%?
Okay, let's say 10%. I'm just pulling a number out of my ass.
It is that's where it belongs.
Okay, I just pulled a number out of my ass.
I know, but I'm telling you, that's just not true. But,
Well, okay, well.
I mean,
listen.
We do have statistics.
Talk.
Do you ever wish that white liberals would just not talk about Black people at all, ever? Like they would just find any damn other thing to talk about besides that. Good Lord. Okay, look. Oh my. 1 or 2% of Black people have better lives than we did during slavery. That's quite a statement. All right. Now, I can attest to the fact that I was born way after slavery, right? And I grew up in a working class to middle class Black neighborhood that was full of Black people. And there was another part of town where the rich Black people lived. And the biggest, fanciest houses where you've got 2 houses on the block, right? And one house is in the middle of this gigantic yard, and it's got the corner. And then the next house also has the corner property. And there's like 4 houses, corner, 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 corner. That's it. And in the middle, you've just got woods, and someone's got a pool. Black folks. American Black people. And then, of course, there were all the Black kids that I went to college with. I went to, well, it wasn't expensive when I started going there, but when I graduated, it was expensive. So, yeah, we've made a little bit of progress since slavery, but let's just look at some percentages, shall we? And I know that there are a lot of white liberals who really want everyone to believe that as a country, we've made no progress since the 1860s, and that Black people have also made no progress at all since the 1860s. But I got to tell you something here. It's one of the reasons this gets under my skin. My great-grandfather, Augustus Frierson, was born a slave. in 1860. So he was emancipated along with everybody else about 1865 thereabouts, and he became a professor and a minister and a big property owner in the Deep South. So basically, out of the gate, and the gate being slavery, Black folks were ready. Okay, we were ready. Not all of us. It took some of us a while to catch up, but a lot of Black folks were ready. There were Black newspapers, there were Black artisans, Black musicians, Black politicians. We were ready. We're still ready, and we still do things, right? I've been a teacher for a very long time. I've worked with a lot of Black teachers. I've worked with a lot of Black teachers in elementary school and teaching pre-K. My sister is, or was, she's since retired, was an English teacher in high school. There are Black letter carriers, and there are Black lawyers, Black architects. My sister was married to an architect. He's Black. So, Black people are not just entertainers. Now, granted, we're a small portion of the United States population. It's only 13.5%. So it's possible that someone living in the middle of the country could go for a very long time without having a meaningful discussion with a Black person. And so the only time they would see Black people doing anything is either in the movies, on TV, or in sports. Okay, well, in that case, that person's not necessarily racist, but they would be kind of ignorant because they just haven't been exposed. But if you live in a major city in the United States, there's Black folks all over the place doing all kinds of things. And I would imagine that none of us are tethered, literally tethered, like with shackles to some white dude. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, so let's take a look at this. Better than slavery, right? Compared with 47.1% of white adults, just 30.8% of Black adults have earned some form of college degree, associate degree, or more. Okay, I would like to see that number be a lot higher, but it's better than slavery when 0% of Black people had college degrees, see, because of the whole servitude thing. So yeah, 30.8% better than slavery. As a matter of fact, I am the only one of my parents' children, 4 of us, who does not have a master's degree. And you know what? We're all Black. All right, this is also better than slavery. Okay, while the U.S. homeownership rate has increased to 65.5% in 2021, the rate among Black Americans lags significantly at 44%. 44%. Considering that there is systemic racism and there is still restrictions, redlining, blockbusting, all that crap is still going on, I'm impressed that it's that high. But you are talking about a significant portion of the Black population of this country that owns a home. Again, better than slavery when you couldn't own a damn thing. You didn't even own your own skin. Because if, depending on the plantation you're on, if the slave owner wanted to take some of that skin off you, he certainly could. So, yeah, 44% better than slavery, Mr. Mellencamp. Alrighty, let's take a look. We got one more here. Aha. Black people, this may come as a surprise to certain white liberals, are no longer slaves. Check this out. So, the employment rate for Black folks is 55.7%. Okay. For white folks, it is 58.6%. So there's a lag there, but it's, what is it? It's 3 percentage points. Again, it needs to come up. I'm not saying that black people are going great guns and gangbusters in the United States, but it sure as hell is better than slavery, because I guess at that point, basically everybody was employed, but nobody was getting paid. Or in the majority of the country, that was a thing. So what's he talking about? This is one of the things that irritates me about the white liberal line when it comes to black folks. Look, we've made a lot of progress since the 1860s. Lots. We have jobs. We own homes. We work in the professions. As a matter of fact, black people have done so well as a group that I can sit here as a freelance musician, and I have been for, how long have I been doing this now? 28 years. I've been doing this for 28 years, and at no time during those 28 years have I been subjected to any kind of obvious racism. Now, I'm not going to say that it hasn't happened or that I have not encountered racists, but I haven't encountered any obvious in-your-face racism. No one has thrown any racial epithets at me. I have not experienced any, I don't know. I just haven't experienced any. It reminds me of a story. So my booking agent set me up with a nursing home gig in Staten Island. It was the last minute gig. And my husband and I were playing together, and we were doing, we had been doing like our 50s rock and roll repertoire. But I had another repertoire that was show tunes, a couple of Frank Sinatra's, some, he played some Dion and the Belmonts. Okay, so we go into this place. It's all little old Italian ladies, all of them. I don't think anybody was taller than like 4'10". And, they had the families there, and everybody's calling everybody Nana. And I was like, oh man, okay, well, I guess we're not gonna. And so I'm like, all right, let me not be racist or classist, because, who doesn't love Elvis? They didn't. Oh no. And one of them goes, they look at me, and I can see him giving me the side eye. And one of them says, I bet she doesn't know any Frank Sinatra. And I said, Frank Sinatra? Let's go. And we did the New York, and we did Fly Me to the Moon. We did Volare. Oh, we had a blast. We had an absolute blast. It's time for me to move. This is bullshit here. Anyway, so I was able to bridge the cultural divide, and I made the nanas happy, which is my job. So it could have been tense, right? It could have been a little tight, but you got to read the room. But again, I didn't hear anybody say, the blacks don't know any Frank Sinatra. I didn't hear that. I heard, I bet she doesn't know any Frank Sinatra. Now, that could have been an assumption that Nana made based on my race, but she did not call me the N-word. And it also could have been age, or maybe they'd had people in there who are, and it's disappointing. It's like, did nobody know? Does anybody sing Frank Sinatra? I mean, that's what we want to hear. Why do they keep doing this to us? Why do they keep inflicting this nonsense on us? Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. So there we go. And I can also assure you that I have never been chased down the street by a racist mob howling epithets. I've never had a cross burned on my lawn, and neither has my white husband. So, yeah, things are better. But white liberals want us to believe that every time you see a black person, if they're walking down the street at a slow pace, it's because they're exhausted from being chased by the Klan. If they live anywhere, it's some rat-infested crap hole that they share with 5 other beleaguered black people, and they pay exorbitant sums to their white slum landlord who calls them the N-word nonstop every day. Yeah, nah, it's not a thing. It is not a thing. Are there crappy apartments? Sure. Are there black people who are paying too much rent? Sure. Are there slumlords? Sure. But you know what? White people live in those apartments too. So there's that. Can we please accept that we have made progress as a nation and as black folks since 1860? Okay? Look, here's the thing. If you are a married black couple, do you need to expect that some angry, red-faced white man bearing a whip and a pistol is going to kick your door down, grab one of you, let's say grab your wife and sell her for money, and you can't do a damn thing about it? Is that going to happen? No, it's not. It's not the 1860s. Let's grow up, shall we? And live in reality. I will see you guys in the next installment of the Political Living Room. Until then, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.